What is going on, people? We are tuned back into the Offside Chat on the Beat London 103.6 FM. Obviously, we're going to move on to the new topic. We have to talk about Chelsea.
Yes.
We have to talk about Chelsea. I'm very happy because obviously we've got our money-loving financial expert, John, here. I mean, sorry, the first part I shouldn't have said, but a financial expert, John. Sometimes he does, make things... John, you know what? You're not in the studio, innit? So I'm just taking bare shots. Pause. I'm taking shots. Yeah. But we've got to look at Chelsea's splurge, because I was going to put it down as a summer splurge, but since the new regime is coming with Todd, like we're looking at 857 million spent. We will talk about the outgoings, but that is mad. This calendar year, I think it's 600 mil spent.
This calendar year, we're not 8.
Yeah.
This is
this is what we're doing. Chelsea
We got Todd DiBiase, innit?
Yeah, Todd DiBiase. This is
money.
you know what that is?
The Benjamins.
That is change.
It's all about the Benjamins, baby.
Todd DiBiase, but they've broken the British transfer record twice.
Yeah, it's crazy.
In 8 months, right? So obviously with Enzo Fernandez, and then again they've done it. All right, let's go to the Chelsea fan first. You're gonna be excited.
So excited.
But what would you say to people that say you're just a money club now? That's what you are.
were saying that for the last 20 years, though, so it's not really going to hurt us now, is it? You know what I mean? It's since Abramovich came in, all you do is spend, all you do is spend. Spending makes you win. And I think Todd has adopted that tactic from Roman. So really, like a couple months ago, I used to get laughed out of this studio, this same studio.
You're still getting laughed at.
Nah. But now the tune has changed. Now the tune has changed. The air's a bit different now. They're worrying about us now. You're not worrying about our finance. What are you not pocket watching for? What are you pocket watching?
Sorry. This is
for everyone that's listening. Obviously, everyone wants to know about Chelsea this, Chelsea that, Chelsea. You
this
saw
is main character syndrome on another level.
Yeah, because we're back.
Back where?
Why is you look?
It's been one match week.
Look, no.
What you drew?
Listen, no, you know what it is? Look, with Samson, look, we are talking about Chelsea. We're not talking about it because of the football. It's the spending is mad. Come on.
It's been mad, though. Come on, though.
This is on another level now.
No. Okay, let me not lie. 900 million in 3 windows is crazy. But I'm not going to lie. If you look at Chelsea from beforehand, we needed this revamp.
Is this a revamp or is this
on. I was telling him earlier, we had a front three during last year of Mason Mount, Kai Havertz and Conor Gallagher. Are you trying to tell me?
And you still don't have a shooter.
I'm trying to tell me. We got Nico Jackson.
Good luck.
I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. You know what I mean?
Good luck.
Word to outcast. You know what I mean? I think you guys... No, the air is a bit different. When I say that, like, you guys used to laugh me out of the building, right? And now you're worrying about what's going to happen. I'm hearing, what's your expectations this season? You got to win the league.
We're on to you, man.
Why is that?
Colleen, what you're obviously Samson is, I think we're going to get this until the end of the season and we'll see where we're at with that. I can imagine if someone's spending money, look, he's going to be excited about it. But what are your thoughts about this? I know people are going to talk about financial fair play. We're going to bring John in a second to kind of shed the light on this, but is it the money club again now? Because, they're spending obscene amounts of money. Look, the Casado deal, look, it's no secret that's my guy, innit? On the pitch, obviously, I've seen what's been going on off the pitch as well. But for me, I think he's a fantastic player. But for one season in the Premier League, I've seen other people saying that, this is the missing link for Chelsea, 115 million, justifying it. But I'm thinking... Can you justify 150 million for one season? Someone actually said he was world class. I'm not going to mention any names. I was watching this on Sky Sports News. I was like, what, world class?
Honestly.
What, for one season? I'm not questioning his ability or where he potentially could go, but I think it's dangerous territory now.
Definitely.
115 mil for potential. Then what about the people who have actually established and really mashed work? So that's where I'm thinking... Okay, I don't mind people spending their money, but I was told that because you spent 100 mil on Enzo, that it's not going to affect everybody else's transfer. Oh yes, it does though, because everybody is going to think, well, I've got my version of Enzo, and look, West Ham are saying it's going to be 100 mil for Rice. Now look at Brighton. Brighton were kind of close. They didn't want to let him go to Arsenal in January. I think it was around 70 mil. So they were like, look, if he come back for around 80 mil, that's fine. But no, still. They've seen the rise still. They're looking at Enzo deal. They're thinking, hold on a second, we can get over 100 mil for him. Before we go to John with that, I mean, they've kind of made the transfer market a little bit wild now. At Chelsea again.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think if you're... I don't have to admire Todd because he's come in and he's spending a load of money.
BMF
so I don't have a problem necessarily with the amount of money he's spending. Like, if he wants to spend 900 mil, put people on 8-year contracts to amortise how much they can, how much they have to pay and how much they owe for financial.
I think he is Big Meech. He is. No, he is. Larry Hoover.
There's no guarantee of anything. Like, just because you're spending 900 mil, there's no... Everyone's going to be like, okay, you spent 900 mil, you have to win the league. But let's be realistic. I do not expect Chelsea to win the league this season. That should... Obviously, that's the goal. That's why spending 900 million in 12 months. But I think it's just insane to say that this is going to... Every single one of these big signings are now going to work for Chelsea. This isn't FIFA. This isn't Football Manager. You can't just spend this money on all these players and expect it all to work out. We saw at the back end of last season at Chelsea, or even Chelsea, the last 12 months, how it's actually worked out. So I like the ambition on a financial level. How it turns out over the next 8 years if they don't get Europe next year, with the amount of payments and the amount of 8-year contracts they've got, is a whole nother story. We're gonna have to see how that plays out. The ambition is good, but we need to... it's so hard to tell what's going to happen with this Chelsea squad because we've had, one match week. There's so many players there. They're still over 25. They're, 33? Senior, 32, 33 senior players. So there's less than 2 weeks left of the window. There's still a lot of pieces of the puzzle that needs to come in, and you can't just expect Pochettino to have just come in now and say, okay, we spent 900 million, got to win the league this year, because it just doesn't work.
I think the league is a bit of a far fetch.
But you just said you were going to finish above Arsenal. So
that's not.
Arsenal finished second last year, so
uncomfy conversation.
No, Chelsea fans though is that we're going to go to John. We'll come back to this is the funny thing with Chelsea fans is that it's a lot of big talk. That's what I said before. It was like Casado's coming, Casado and Enzo. I'm not mentioning any names, but this is what was said. Casado and Enzo now in that midfield. That is actually the best midfield in the Premier League. So they asked him, "Oh, you gonna win the league?" Oh no, I still think top four.
Best
I think you're talking
big
talk, and then is top four enough for 800 mil in 3 windows? John, we're all listen. I know from the outside, we're not financial experts, so we look at it and thinking 800 nearly a billy spent in 3 windows. I know we've looked at the length of the contract, so we're thinking, okay, financial fair play. Is it right for other clubs? Is it just jealousy, or are we right to actually say no? Do you know what? We don't like what's going on here because it's unfair.
No, it's jealousy, man.
I knew it.
Thank you, John.
It's at the playground, right? It's at the playground. Obviously, any advantage, you need to make sure that, if someone's thought of something you hadn't thought of, you need to level the playing field somehow. So it's a bit like Man City. The recent charges they got because all the other Premier League clubs have jumped up and said, you guys need to do something about this. I think that we need to... The transfer fees are high, I get that, but we've got to look at the other factors as well, right? A lot of these players are coming in on much lower wages. I read an article in the week, I can't remember his name, so I can't give him his credit, but he broke it down quite nicely. He's like, number one, think about the outgoings. Now, their transfer fees may not be high, but think about what they were taking off the wage bill. You're bringing in young players you might be paying big money for, but they're not on massive wages. Lavia is not on massive wages. These players are not on massive wages. And they're over long-term contracts. Now, the downside to that is, if these players flop, you haven't got any market value to recoup. But if they do well and someone wants them, then now someone's going to have to do a Chelsea to you and give you big money. So if they found a way to do it and spend well and rebalance their squad in many different ways, then fair play to them, because now they've got one of the youngest squads in the Premier League, right? And there's another team that did that not too long ago. I can't remember that. Oh yeah, Arsenal.
Thank you.
Look, so look, I think.
But what you saying? Did what having the younger? Yeah, but we can't. I don't think you can compare. I know they're having with the younger squad, but we're not breaking British transfer records, John.
No. How they're doing it is different. The end goal is they said, look, we've got more money to spend. We're going to do it quicker. We need to rebalance the squad from a wage structure point of view. We need younger, hungrier players who, when they do well, we can sell on. The difference, the risk they're taking is a little bit like anyone who goes to a super young team. Is not all these guys are going to blossom and come world beaters, but the 2, 3 or 4 that do, the money you recruit will be fine. And if you look at some basic kind of balance sheet analysis this year. I think Sam and Jordan laid it out. You know, they're not in Europe, so they've only got one set of rules to think about for the next 2 years. Even then, the European rules have doubled in terms of the amount of money you can lose every year. He's probably in and he didn't get Michael Lisa, so he's probably in credit for this financial year, believe it or not.
And we just saw Lewis Hall as well, by the way. We just saw Lewis Hall.
Yeah, because I'm looking at the outgoings as well. Yeah, I mean...
That deal looks a bit dodgy, but we'll talk about that in a second.
Kai Havertz, 65 mil. Mason Mount, 60 mil. Kovacic, 30.
All the guys
Pulisic.
that went to Saudi...
Yeah, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, 18.5. Koulibaly, 17. You know, Edward Mendy, who Samson did say is the best goalkeeper in the league last year.
He was for about 6 weeks. Yeah.
For about 6 weeks. Right, Ed. Look, you've heard a few arguments here, innit? You've heard, you know, some valid points. We've heard about financial fair play. You've heard a few jealous tones as well in here, but we won't mention who's done that. But what are your thoughts on this now? Like, take the Arsenal hat off and just look at this now. Would you be like Samson there, twerking, happy?
Oh, pause.
Pause for that first and foremost.
Hey, yo.
Hey, yo.
I don't know what to make of it. It just seems a bit helter-skelter, haywire. Chelsea fans and some people believe they have a plan. There's a semblance of a plan, but I just think you've got a bloated squad. How are you going to manage all those egos? I know they're young and hungry players, yes, but Lavia now expects to start. That cost 60 million.
Do you think there's going to be egos with young players like that? I think they can be controlled. I don't know, but
maybe, but
Especially with a manager like Poch.
yeah, look at
probably, but
I don't think
Poch has
that
never had to
with that
work
kind
with
of
you know, players like this. He's never had a squad of like over 30 players having to let people down. I was watching
It's a lot.
Lampard's Diary of a CEO. Listen, he's not a great manager by any stretch of the imagination, but he was talking
Samson's
about
best manager, man. Don't talk about that.
he was talking about how difficult it was to have a squad that big, and you know, having to manage all the egos when players are not playing week in, week out. They switch off in training. You know, it's going to be very
But
difficult.
he ain't got the capacity to do those.
Maybe, but at the end of the day, it still requires a lot of work.
It's still a challenge for
It's
Poch.
challenging for Poch, right?
I can't say that he did that well with the egos at PSG. Personally,
Obviously, that's another level.
But I'm just saying for
but
him.
like, you know, bring it over. It's a massive deal.
It's a
'cause
massive-
Yeah.
You say
Sorry, can I just say-
lose two games in a row. Lose 2 games in a row, and then we question, well, I've not started for 2 games. There's 2 people ahead of
I'm
me.
better than this guy, XYZ.
I mean, the PSG players, if you ask them about their thoughts on Pochettino, it's all positive, especially Neymar. Like, Neymar's
Yeah,
even
but from a
said...
footballing perspective, could you say that he really succeeded there
No.
in the way he managed that squad and those talents that he had there?
But then, if you're being honest, no manager has at PSG.
But we're talking about Poch, who's now here with you guys.
Sorry,
So-
John.
Fairs.
Just on that squad size point of view, the squad isn't as big as you guys think. You know, like there's actually first team players, not guys on the verge of it. There's 26 players in the squad now. 27 players.
Lukaku still to go. Ziyech still to go.
Well, Ziyech is gone, isn't he?
There's
Yeah, he's
no way
gone to
there's
Ghana.
26.
I'm sure there's over 30
They're
players.
most certainly.
They want to get rid of Chalobah. Gallagher still to go.
Yeah, you're saying still to... Oh, sorry, John. You're saying still to go, but what if no one comes and buys them?
But I think that, obviously, from what we've seen, the market... That a
But are
lot of
we-
teams do want these players.
The thing is, I'm just looking at Poch in terms of it being difficult for him, or the point about being difficult to kind of. I kind of think if you've come from PSG, I think coming to Chelsea, not in a bad with the younger players, I don't think that'll be a problem.
Same.
I mean, when you're going in the room or the dressing room and you've got Mbappe there and Neymar and these sort of guys there, and you have to. I think when you come there and you're dealing with Jackson and
Mudryk and all of that.
I think you're just.
You keep on saying Mudryk. Stop talking about Mudryk. No one cares about Mudryk.
Told you got an ovation at the Bernabeu, man.
For what? Because of Ukraine. We know why he got the invasion.
I mean, but Ed, so yeah, so as you said, your main point was that obviously managing the plays and stuff like that. But what I want to ask you guys, obviously, and I'll ask everybody here is, when you spend 857 mil,
3 windows.
are you not is it unfair to other teams with expected? Are you not expected to at least finish second
Yeah.
or go for a title charge? 'Cause
Yeah.
I know people say, "Oh, we're rebuilding the squad,"
self-sabotage, man.
but there's rebuilding squads, and then there's like.
Doing what they done, right?
Yeah, there has to be some sort of expectation. And what is your expectation this
expectation-
season?
thank
Apart
you
from
for
finish
asking me.
above Arsenal.
No, I don't worry about you guys.
That seems to
I'll
be every other one's.
No, I'm not even worried.
So who do you worry about then? Have it on wax right
Honestly,
now.
yeah, look, it's on radio, though.
Yeah?
The only team I'm worried about is Man City.
How can you say that after one game?
Let me explain.
I just don't get it.
Because we actually play once a week, right? Like, and I'm only telling you from my experience, and I've seen us play once a week, and we finished first.
Yeah, but with this
So,
kind of
but you did
recruits
have a,
coming
like-
in with a
We had
new
a worse
manager.
team then.
You don't even know how this team's
winners.
gonna be.
We got one has.
Oh,
we had Alonso, Aspilicueta,
who
Gavin
won?
Cahill. Like, are we being serious?
Who have won?
Who has won?
Like I said,
Fabregas.
Kante. My expectation is to finish second, not to challenge City.
This is ridiculous. This is absolutely
John.
ridiculous.
Okay.
John, obviously, Chelsea fans will be in your favour. Talk about the financial side, but when you spend that amount of money on a rebuild, surely, you know what would be the expectations for them?
Do you want me to answer sensibly or football fan sensibly?
Both. Just both, John.
Okay, sensibly, it's got to be a top 4 for them, I think.
Yes.
Depending on where they finish in the transfer window this season, I think it's Poch. Depending on who else they buy, they finish 5th, not a disaster. But with what they've now, I've seen that team play, and then I've got Caicedo, they've got Lavia, etc. I think it's going to be a top 4 challenge. Obviously, you can just speaking as a football fan, you put 100 million and you've got to travel the title, but football doesn't work like that. And like I said, most of their spend isn't about today. It's about kind of the next 2 or 3 years. And I think I said it on the show before, I've definitely said on the pod. It's not this season I'm worried about them, it's next season. It's next season I'm actually worried about them. So if Pop's challenge is a credible challenge for top 4 this season, or achieve top 4, then I think he's fine. He's done what he needs to do with that team. With a lot of players who've maybe not played in the Prem before, with his key players getting injured every other week, if they can get 3 months without Ben Chilwell or James injured, they'll do well.
A pig will fly before that happens.
Now that's interesting, John. Colleen, going back to Chelsea, look, whether you like it, whether you don't, after the last 20 years, whatever they've done, and they've put a lot of people's noses out of joint in terms of transfers and the way they've gone about things, but they've been one of the most successful, if not the most successful. Like, it does actually work for them. So all this spending again, do you kind of foresee, of course we're not Chelsea fans, but you're looking at, do you think, okay, this could be the new dawn or something here? Because they're not actually going for like Shevchenko's or Balaks and stuff. They're actually going for younger, they're paying a lot for potential. I didn't know potential cost this much. I knew that there's potential with transfers, and okay, potential is going to be good, but this is a lot. Do you kind of see a new dawn there? Take your Arsenal hat off now.
No, I have no problem with Chelsea spending at all. Like, if you have an owner who wants to be that ambitious, absolutely go for it. I don't know about a new dawn, because I still think it's going to be a bit different to how Roman has done it versus Todd, and we've seen Todd across his other sports franchise. He kind of invests into 7-8 year plans with young players, which is absolutely fine. For me, I just think this is a tad over the top, where I don't think it's going to be a new dawn yet. Maybe in the next 2-3 seasons, potentially. I just think it's completely unrealistic for the new dawn to start now and for them to challenge for the league. Because, as we've already alluded to, it's not FIFA. It doesn't work like that. Just because you spend 900 million, it doesn't mean that those players are going to be playing the way Poch wants them to play. It doesn't mean they're going to have that chemistry or that cohesion, or have that all within from the get-go. I just think that's completely unrealistic. Now, after this season, we'll have to see how they get on, see where they finish. But season 2 or 3, then we can start looking at Chelsea and be like, yeah, they should definitely be challenging. But now, I just think I feel like it's almost self-sabotage. It's like, okay, because now if that's the expectation, they spent 900 mil, they say that the expectation is for them to win the league. They don't win the league. What happens to Poch? What happens to this, this
I think what happens to Poch is what happens to every Chelsea manager.
He'll get clipped.
And then, okay, so these are now players
They'll
that
probably
Poch
move for
wanted, or
Arteta
players
next.
that Tuchel even wanted, and the players that Graham Potter had wanted.
And that's
It's
the thing.
very messy. It's very
I
messy.
don't think the manager has that much of a say in the transfers. So it's not exactly who Poch wanted, or Tuchel or Potter. The reason why Poch was hired is he likes to work within a framework, and he's very easy to work with. He doesn't mind as long as there's a clear vision. So that's probably why they were highly sold on Poch, and they got him in. But they're not Poch players. But if he does well, it's a bonus, like you guys have said.
No, honestly speaking, though, when we talk about Chelsea and the season, etc., I'm actually being honest.
He has got a whole different vibe. Have you not noticed this? Even the way that there's a little bit more bass in his voice. I'm happy now. I'm happy. No, I'm happy because Samson usually was there.
That was down bad, man. I was
He was in the gutter last season.
I was.
But I like it though. But carry on, sir.
We don't have Potter. We don't have Lampard anymore. So obviously I'm going to be confident. And obviously when you guys talk about this spending, like John said, the outgoings, most of our deadwood is actually gone. I mean, you just saw United play. You lot wanted us to keep that player there. So you know what I mean? You lot all wanted us to keep Mason Mount. We shipped off Havertz to you guys.
Who's going to be a success, by the way? before you come with that nasty tone that was coming with that. Yes,
he will.
He will.
He will.
I mean, yeah.
Like I said,
But anyway,
like I said,
stop talking about Arsenal.
No, I'm just saying. Majority of our dead.
He's obsessed with Arsenal.
Majority of our dead
hates
is
us.
gone.
the real champion.
Do you know what I mean? So obviously I'm happy. Do you get what I mean? Like, you talk about expectation, pressure. I'm not trying to dig anyone out, but you say if Poch doesn't win this year, then obviously he might get.
Here we
clipped.
go. He's gonna be.
No, let me finish. But if certain other managers don't win this year after spending 200 million, finishing second, what happens to them? So do you get what I'm trying to say? It's not just all. Everyone's got expectations, and if we fail, reality, we should all face our charges. But when we're talking about you, like obviously Arteta. He doesn't.
I thought we were talking about Chelsea.
Listen. He has no expectations.
But that's why I'm saying
I'm not
have
crazy.
expectation to win the league this season.
No, but obviously I'm being.
have that.
I don't see top four should be a formality in my opinion.
Yeah.
Formality.
A formality.
Okay.
After one game week, this is
One game week though. Yeah.
This is your.
But all right, Samson, Chelsea fan, because you're used to sacking managers now, which you are. Just say Poch doesn't get you in the top 4 and gets you top 6.
Yeah, you're used to get him out.
Yeah, I don't.
However,
Get him out.
does the loophole, not a loophole, but the new changes
Top
to the
five.
Champions League.
Top
So
five.
from this
Oh
season,
yeah, top
if you
5
finish
gets the
fifth,
Champions League.
you get. Oh, you might be calm then.
No, but that's still a disgrace for me. Finishing 5th is uncomfortable.
It's nasty, but Champions League, you get it.
I'm not doing it by what's it like.
It's nasty.
Yeah.
Those new rules are nasty.
You'll take it. You'll take it.
Obviously, you have to take it, but reality is, I'm not trying to finish there. Do you get it? I play once a week. We're fitter than everyone. Like, in my opinion, obviously, you said the midfield thing. I still think we're behind Man City, truthfully, but
Well, in terms of quality or numbers.
quality.
We've never even seen this group of midfield players play together consistently.
One
see
thing
what
I'd
they will
say
be.
is there's question marks at attack and who's your goalie? Because Sanchez, you didn't buy him to start. Man.
Sanchez is what I'm trying to say is Sanchez is an upgrade on Kepa though. Do you
Is
get-
he?
Yes, he is. Come on.
I think
Come
Kepa stinks,
on.
but I don't know. Because he
Come
couldn't
on,
get there
guys.
Brighton, so how the hell
Well,
is
then
he?
Kepa's failing upwards because he's
Yeah.
now at Real Madrid.
Yeah, but we all know why
Typical.
because you know his passport is. You know what I'm saying.
Maybe, but
Oh,
You know what I mean?
Sanchez lost his job to Jason Steele, so how is he now better than Kepa?
I mean, Real Madrid was considering De Gea.
no, but you can't be seriously
Oh, yeah,
thinking
they
that
were,
Robert
actually.
Sanchez should
Yeah, but
be Chelsea's number 1, surely.
I don't think he should be our number 1, obviously, but I think it's a stopgap until we.
So a stopgap's going to win you the league because you came in and saying that you're going to win the league.
I mean,
You'll be winning
the
the
goalkeeper
league.
doesn't win you. Look,
With a
you nearly won. You
goalkeeper.
nearly won the league with a relegation zone goalkeeper. So let's
Whoa,
not. Let's
don't disrespect Armando like that. Don't.
Wow.
Look,
Nasty
look, I
as
start
fuck.
talking nasty. Yeah, is that not true? He spent most of his career in the relegation
He's
zone.
24.
But he did spend.
Yes
he
or
did
no?
spend the season with Arsenal, so he moved to a big club. Obviously, he got. The thing is, I know you.
Don't even talk to him, man.
no,
He knows what
no,
you're doing. Don't even do that.
Do you know what's
Don't even do
uncomfortable?
that. Don't even do
Some of
that.
you guys wanted Ramsdale out, maybe. There's a reason. There's a reason you brought Raya Jama in. You know what I mean? Like,
Ryan, you are. What is
Get me out of the studio now.
wrong
Get
with
me
you?
out.
Ryan Jama.
There's a reason.
John, in terms of Chelsea, can you see them? Do you reckon Poch is under pressure?
Yeah, he's definitely under pressure. I guess what he's under pressure to achieve is a different story. They can't have a season like last season. He needs to demonstrate to them that he can get the best out of these young players and move them along whilst blending in and getting the best out of the stars that have arranged, right? The Sterling, the Thiagos, etc. So, yeah, he's definitely under pressure. And I think he's under pressure from a career point of view, right? Everyone said at Spurs, he did well, etc., but once he gets to top club that can win stuff, he can win stuff. He went to PSG and won the league, but he hated it there by all accounts. He thought everyone there was a moron. And now he's come to a big club, but he's the one that now has to do the transformative job and make them title challenges again, rather than maybe other managers who have done what he did at Spurs. They might have landed in the team ready to do that. So yeah, let's see what he's really made of now. I believe he's got all the tools he needs.
Yeah,
got some of the best young players in their positions. He's got one of the better Premier League forwards of the last 5 to 10 years in Sterling. So yeah, he's under pressure to better last season finish and do it in a way that befits the investment, right? You can't get to top 4 with 1-0 wins every week. That's not gonna fly. But yeah, he's under a lot of pressure. But I think as long as he gets closer to top 4, he'll be alright. And then, like I said, next season and season after, if he's not winning the Prem or getting to the Champions League, he's out.
No, it's interesting. Are you bothered about the style of play?
No, but well,
Yeah, no, because the Chelsea, because it is varied. You've had so many different managers, and then obviously you guys are the club that just wins. I think City's a bit different, Arsenal's a bit different.
Those are the only two teams, in my opinion.
There's no Chelsea way
in
of
terms
playing.
of
With style of play,
style of
every
play,
other team.
It's
Liverpool.
and Liverpool.
Do you reckon?
it's a style of play, but it's
It's not working.
Yeah, it's just
Well, not now, but Klopp was very
I've
successful.
always said, no hating, I've always said though, Arsenal and City are the only teams that home or away are the ones with the ball.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, no other team.
But what about yourself as a Chelsea? Just
Only
before we
one
wrap
game.
it up.
One
just to
game.
wrap it up,
One
do you
game.
care about this new
Not
era
really.
that's
Not
yeah, I
really.
thought so.
No, I'm not gonna lie.
You see, I just wanted to get because I do.
Chelsea fans are not football connoisseurs. You can't like.
all they want to do is win. That's their style of football, winning football.
That's what we're in the aim.
Yeah.
That's the business.
So
though,
you're
innit?
not really too concerned. The press is good.
No.
Get him back in January. Get him back in January because you need to be held accountable for.
I think he's being honest because most people. Look,
I don't care about the style of play.
Because sometimes I speak to Manchester United fans and they always bang on about the style of play, and then after the nasty work against Wolves,
We won.
We heard
But
people.
they
We
were
won. We
jailed.
won. So that's what it was. But listen, I don't think this Chelsea topic is going to go away. I think it's very very intriguing to watch them this season with the money that they've spent
It's a soap opera.
and the pressure. Yeah, that they've done that. So guys, keep it locked on the Offside Chat. We'll be back after the breaks. Thank you.